What's happening, guys? My name is OTG, and I would just like to ask you not to adjust your computer screens. Yes, we're in Singapore, and yes, I started on pole position. Yes, it's a funny thing, but we've got pole position in Singapore, the track I hate the most in every living aspect of this game. I hate Singapore. I hate it with a passion. Do you want to know why I hate Singapore with a passion? Singapore is slow, sluggish, and all it ever does is cause crashes, and I'm not that fast around it, but I got off to an okay start. Got 5 extra laps of fuel, so I can use the rich fuel mixture for some parts. Not the best of starts. We're keeping first position. We've held first position from pole. Fernando Alonso's behind us. We give him a little gap there to have a little quick look-see in the back end. We're going to obviously do what I did last time in Italia, where I have a little topic to discuss. This time's topic is, do footballers take their positions for granted? I mean, not footballers, sorry. Do sports stars? And obviously footballers are going to come into it, so are most people. So yeah, let's get started. You guys can see the game plan in the background. I will obviously point out key aspects, like just then we just had a little bit of a spin-off moment there. We're now a little bit behind Fernando Alonso, but we're outbraking him and Button to go a little bit wide, and we're side by side with Jenson Button. I don't know what's happened to Fernando Alonso because he's dropped another place. No, he hasn't. We've got the move on Button, have we? Yes, we've secured the move. Very nice there. I love the McLaren in the Singapore track. Oh, that car looks nice at Singapore in night. So, the footballers. No, I forgot. I need to. Okay, do sports stars take their positions for granted? Now what I mean by that is, do they just go out and just go, oh, let's just go and play, do our sport, just play at the weekend. Let's just take footballers. Okay, we're gonna say footballers. Well, okay, footballers. They'll do training twice or 3 times a week, depending on the level of football. They'll play a match on Sunday, and they'll get paid 100 grand a week. They'll then go out like Carlos Tevez did and crash a car, or do something stupid like Luis Suarez and just get a bit of community service, maybe a match ban. And why did these sports stars get away with it? I mean, if you crashed a car, you'd be like, oh my god, this is going to be horrible. How are we going to pay off the car? How are we going to pay off? Insurance isn't going to cover. Insurance isn't going to cover all of this. But footballers like Balotelli, when he bloody crashed his Bentley, that's perfectly fine. I know Lewis Hamilton, he's crashed a few cars in his time, and he's just paid it off because they get such a high amount of money. It doesn't matter to them. They just go, oh, we can. Oh, 1 week I have a Bentley, next week a Ferrari, week after that I might be lucky and get myself a little Bugatti Veyron, I don't know, a Lamborghini. I don't really care what cars they have. It's just so annoying they can take their position for granted just because they are sports stars. And why do they deserve special treatment? I mean, Luis Suarez only had a 10-game ban. 10-game ban. That's stupid. 4 of them games are the last games of the season. Liverpool aren't chasing nothing. And then you've got something, and then he only has 6 games. Why does he deserve that? And you look at sports stars. Okay, we're going to switch things around now. Then we're going to talk a little bit about money and how it does affect the sport. I mean, if you look into Formula 1, obviously, I'll talk a bit about football. We're here for Formula 1. Formula 1, Pastor Maldonado. Pastor Maldonado is funded by a Venezuelan oil company. Pastor Maldonado is basically David Beckham of Venezuela. He is seen as a god and idol to millions and millions and millions. So, he gets the backing of an oil company, and the president at the time, who is now sadly passed away. Didn't know the guy, didn't really have any doings, but apparently it was a really bad time for every Venezuelan. I don't know, I think he brought some form of like human rights, that sort of stuff. And yeah, and it was one of them really weird things. Pastor Maldonado, in my opinion, is a crap driver. He can't drive a car. You saw what happened in Valencia, he just took out Hamilton. He's clumsy, he gets a fluke win in Spain, and apparently now he's a great driver. You've seen this year, Williams are getting funded by this team, and all because the man is an absolute buffoon. He can't drive a car. He's crap at Formula 1. He's rubbish at press conferences. He doesn't bring anything to the sport. Nobody likes the guy, really, to be honest. He's just seen as a man who's got in this sport due to pure money. Now we look at Sergio Perez. Yeah, he's got the Mexican backing from the country, as we saw in Bahrain. He had his backers there. But he's a good driver. He's earned his spot. Now, I know you're going to say, oh, there's loads of other drivers who have done it through the years. But why do these men get this sort of... They've got a position. Now, Pastor Maldonado obviously has come from poor comings. And obviously done go-karting and has got in this position. But obviously now he's going to be taking it for granted. I know there was once I did... I can't remember, it was some sort of like Spanish news team. It was on the internet. Somebody linked it to me. And it was basically Pastor Maldonado... a translator saying, oh, I've come from all of these horrible positions, where I've been living in poverty and all this, blah, blah, blah. How the hell did you get in go-karting then? Huh? Can somebody make that for me, please? And then he goes around and says, I've gone from poor to this. And then it's just a bloody pan out of his house. He's got like 20 million acres. Oh, that's a bit of 25 acres, something like that. And that's just like, what the hell? This man is just unbelievable. It's just I can never understand why these guys get paid so much. You look at these sports stars. Yes, Formula 1 drivers risk their lives, but you take footballers. They get paid 120 grand plus, the good ones, a week for kicking a football around on the pitch. And I love football. But then on the other hand, you've got people who serve in the armed forces, army, navy, marines, all that stuff. And they'll get about 30 to 40 grand a year. 1 year, 30 to 40 grand, risking your life to protect our country. A country that is one of the most dominant forces in the world and has always through history had the sort of backing of the army and navy and protection. But for some reason, Carlos Tevez, let's just say Carlos Tevez, Luis Suarez, can come into our country, get paid this amount of money, disrespect our economy by doing stupid things and disrespecting our way of life, coming into our way of life, and then just doing stupid acts and getting paid 100 grand for it. That doesn't make sense in my book. I'm a sports fan. I love sports, but that doesn't make sense in any of my logic. I mean, I'm a normal kid. I love football. I've grown up football. Only recently have I become a Formula 1 fan, but I've grew up with football, and I've always looked at the positive sides of football. And you know, I'm starting to see negative sides in sports in general, to be honest. I mean, not many sports can you say that if somebody bites someone, not in many professions can you say if someone bites bites someone else, they'll get away with it. If you bite someone in your job, if you have an office job working for BT or something like that don't know any job, and you bite one of your colleagues, you're out. You're kicked out. That doesn't make sense. And you look at someone like Romain Grosjean. He crashed into Alonso and Hamilton, risking their lives, and he just got one race ban. No, I don't know if he got a fine, but that man should have been eagerly punished. You don't just crash into the back of someone and go, yep, nothing really major happened here. What the hell? You look at golf stars like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, he had sex with over 100 women. And I am a proved fact because I have it on my screen. He's slept with over 100 women and he's still playing golf. I mean, what the hell? He's over 100 women. He's used them women. He's used them women for sexual acts. And he just walked off and said, yeah, you know what? I just got the money. He's got money. He doesn't need a backing from Nike. Nike dropped him. All his sponsors dropped him. He's a millionaire. He's got tens of millions of pounds in the bank, ready and waiting. He's won the Masters many times. I mean, come on. That's not going to really affect him in Major League. So, it's just one of them things. I just get so annoyed with the way that sports stars get treated like saints, even though they're not all. Like Oscar Pistorius, he was an idol in South Africa. He literally was David Beckham. They worshipped him. There was a little town. There was a small town. They actually made a statue of him out of brass. That's sad. That's quite taking things to extremes. And he went ahead and shot his girlfriend. Now, I know the trial was in July sometime, but come on, does he really? Let's take in his position for. I mean, he thinks he can get away with it because he's Oscar Pistorius. They might have had some form of problem. They might have been had a breakup. They might have been breaking up. Doesn't mean he can go and shoot the woman. I don't care if if he hasn't got any legs. He can't shoot someone and get away with it. And that's going to be something that I personally feel that sports stars take their positions way too granted in this day and age of 2013. Hopefully things will get sorted out as we come around now to the last corner, onto the final lap we go into Bismo. Let's do this, guys. Okay, we've talked about the topic, now let's talk about the track. We're hitting the apex, just going around the first, second, and now the third corner. First and second hitting the apex, third going a little bit wide, getting marbles on the front right hand rear tyre. The gap between us and Button is very small, but to Webber, it's quite a big gap. We're pushing now around this back straight, gonna have to defend like crazy. Jensen Button will have DRS now. He has to turn though under the Pirelli sign too for F1 2012 sign going through now. He doesn't go for a move. 0.2 of a second, and he doesn't go for a move. Is he crazy? 3.8 seconds behind, and we go wide, leaving a gap for Jensen Button. Mark Webber 3.8 seconds behind. Jensen Button's not going for a move, no. What is wrong with Jensen? He has got a great chance. Now he's behind me. Is he going to use a slipstream and curse? It doesn't look like it. No, he doesn't. We're coming around to chicane that you just take us one corner. What is the point of even having a corner? Just make it one corner. It makes life a lot easier for everyone. As we're coming around now into the third sector very shortly after this hairpin corner, but we hit it perfectly. We do hit that corner perfectly. I've had problems around that corner all race weekend. Jensen Button is directly behind us, gonna brake just right, gonna get that corner going a little bit wide with the left hand side of the car, but we keep it steady, gaining 2/10 but losing 2/10 on Webber, gaining 2/10 on Jensen Button, going a little bit wide, leaving a gap, but we've got that corner getting the left, front left and probably the rear left of the car on the curb now. Oh, very close to the UBS sign there, locking our brakes just there, getting a bit of jitteriness on the suspension now, getting these last two corners. This has been a torturous race here, guys, but it looks as if we're going to take a victory here in Singapore, our first pole to victory with Lotus Renault, and we have done it. What the hell? I mean, seriously, not one penalty in this whole entire series. Not one. Nothing did I do wrong in that race. Never did I cause problems. Didn't even give me a bloody reason what happened. Guys, Hamilton's finished in front of me. Alonso has. And then my bloody title contenders. That could have put me away with the race. I could have felt a lot more comfortable. I just put as insult to injury. Kimi Räikkönen in 14th. Doesn't put any bloody points into the mix. So guys, I'd just like to say thank you guys for watching. My name is OTG. I'll see you guys very shortly for some more videos. Goodbye.